Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here, and today was Samsung's Unpacked event. They unveiled a lineup of new Galaxy products, including the new Galaxy Z Flip 4 and Z Fold 4. Thanks to Samsung for sending these over for us to check out. In this video, we are going to unbox the Galaxy Z Fold 4. I will make a video later today with the Flip 4 if that's what you're interested in, so be sure to subscribe so you're notified when that video goes live. They also unveiled new smartwatches, new earbuds as well. I will be doing content on those in the future. So again, be sure to click that subscribe button. Anyways, on to the Galaxy Z Fold 4. Really excited to check this one out. They actually kept the starting price at $17.99, so the same price as the Fold 3. So nice, they aren't increasing it. I will link to all the pre-orders down below. They have good trade-in values and things like that, so that link will be in the description. But let's go ahead and take a quick look what comes inside the box and then get some hands-on with the brand new Fold 4. Let's get started. Here is the new Galaxy Z Fold 4 from Samsung. Really excited to check out this phone. In the past, it's just so valuable having a candy bar sized phone plus a phone that opens up into a tablet with that larger inside display. Really excited. I'm gonna make you wait for just a second to check out that phone because I believe our extras are up towards the top here, a little bit different. Taking this out reveals everything else that comes with the box, our standard booklet, a SIM ejection tool, and our USB Type-C to Type-C cable for charging. So that is it. That is everything that comes inside the box. On to what you came to see, the Z Fold 4. This is the gray-green color. Pretty excited to see what it looks like. Let's peel off this plastic carefully. Actually, it should be very, very durable. This is the most durable folding phone that they have made yet. And there we go. Here it is. No more plastic on it. I do think there are screen protectors pre-installed. We'll take a closer look in just a second. But there is that new gray-green color. The folding mechanism here, closing it, always very premium feeling. But as expected, it does feel very premium opening it. It's not too difficult, but you also can put it in their flex mode where it will stay in a certain position. So it definitely is tight, doesn't feel loose whatsoever. But now, let's go ahead and power on the device. And while it boots up, we'll take a closer look at this hardware. Down at the bottom, we have our microphone, USB Type-C port for charging, one of our stereo speakers. Also, while going through this, keep in mind this is now IPX8 rated, so you can have it in fresh water up to 1.5 meters for up to 30 minutes. So really great that Samsung found a way to add water resistance to this folding phone. Now, on the right side here, we've got our power button with the embedded fingerprint scanner, volume rockers right here. You also have our SIM card slot on the other side. Make note of that camera bump, fairly minimal overall, up towards the top. Another microphone and our other stereo speaker. Now let's take a close look at that hinge mechanism, opening it up, just so you can see what it looks like closing. There it is, goes completely flush between the two sides and closes up over that hinge. Here's just another look. If it looks very similar to previous ones, there's just a small gap once you get closer to the hinge, but it does sit flush once you get towards the front. So not a very large gap going through, but really do like the way that this hinge mechanism feels. Also, while holding this device, I can tell it's just a little bit lighter than the previous Fold 3, which is always a welcome addition, especially on a phone that turns into a tablet. If you can reduce weight, that's awesome. Anyways, there's the gray-green. Looks awesome, actually. I'm a big fan of this color and our triple camera system. You get a new 50 megapixel main sensor. On top of that, a 12 megapixel ultra wide angle lens and a 10 megapixel telephoto lens, which will zoom up to 3 times optically or 30 times digitally. On top of that triple camera system, you have one 10 megapixel front-facing camera, and on the inside, there is no front-facing camera. Oh wait, just kidding, there is. They actually improved the under-display camera technology to make it even less visible than the Fold 3's was. We'll take a closer look at that in just a second, but now that our phone's all booted up and ready to go, I will run through the startup process, talk about anything that's noteworthy. While running through the setup process, I'm noticing the front display has just less bezels makes it a little more sleek looking. Now, setting up the fingerprint scanner, it says to open up the device. So now that we have done that, let's just set our finger on down, whatever finger you'd like to set up. I'm going to set my right thumb up. In the past, this on power button, I should say, fingerprint scanner has worked really well, been very accurate, very quick. It's very accessible when holding the device. It works really well. You can add more if you'd like to. I'm not going to for now, but I do find that you might want to set up your left pointer finger or middle finger to set that down if you like holding your phone with your left hand. But otherwise, your right thumb works really well to set on that power button. Taking care of your phone, Samsung lets you know some tips to make sure that it stays intact. I have used the previous folding phones without cases, and they have been very durable in my opinion. So Samsung does a great job with their build quality on these folding phones. I have no worries whatsoever in terms of these breaking, anything like that. I also want to point out that inside display has a screen protector pre-installed, which I'd recommend keeping on there, but just nice that Samsung does have that pre-installed. You are all set up and ready to go. Let's hit finish and check out those two displays. First of all, that first one is a 6.2 inch AMOLED display at a 120 hertz refresh rate. So it does also have that high refresh rate that the inside display does. So not only do you get a candy bar style phone that you can use, you can open it up to that 7.6 inch dynamic AMOLED display. Again, also at 120 hertz, excuse me. While running through to switch the wallpaper, I want to point out that there is a taskbar down at the bottom, really useful for some quick shortcuts, various apps, our home, recent apps, and back button in the bottom right. And then this button in the bottom left will bring you to just a full list of your applications. So you don't even need to go back, swipe up to go home to switch apps. You can have a bunch of shortcuts that you can customize down below. While my search for a wallpaper continues, check out these animations that they've added. If I go to an app, it brings down that bar down at the bottom right here. Going home brings them back up in a nice smooth animation. And even if you go to a different app, it will bring down that bar into our quick shortcuts so you can quick swap between apps. And then that app will actually pop up on the right side there for quick and easy access. So it doesn't need to be just the ones at the bar. If I open up the clock app, that is, and go back into the Chrome browser, the clock app and the Play Store will open up. Really useful when you're doing your multitasking. You might not even have to go back home into that app drawer ever. All right, found a wallpaper that I liked, and it brings up an option to truly customize. You can have different color palettes going through and changing different apps based on those colors. So really nice to have. You can apply it to app icons even. I also want to point out, while looking directly at the phone, I can't tell that there's that hinge in the middle. Obviously, if I get direct light like I'm doing with my light above me, you can start to see the crease right there, but otherwise it is fairly minimal when you're looking at it, unless you're looking at it just a plain white display. I don't even see it right here when I'm looking at it, but let's apply our wallpaper there. Also want to turn on dynamic lock screen because that's always great to have on. Another nice feature that Samsung adds is dynamic lock screen. It'll change the wallpaper on our lock screen. So while that downloads, let's go home. And here we go. Now we can really take a closer look at that AMOLED display. Again, if that light hits it, you can kind of start to see it, but even when you're looking up close, you really can't see that hinge. And there is that front-facing camera right there hidden under the display. If we go down, you'll start to see it a little bit more if it's just a plain white screen. But overall, when I'm just using the device, going to different websites and stuff, if it's completely black, you can notice it. But if you're on a page that's full screen watching a video, you are not going to be able to tell that it's really there. So the black screen is really where you start to see it the most. That's about it if there's no color or light going on. You can have the home screen auto rotate if you'd like to use it in horizontal orientation or portrait. It is up to you completely. Now let's do a quick test of that fingerprint scanner. with it unfolded. I want to make note that you can't just set your thumb down. You have to go into settings to enable that, but it can be done. Otherwise, you have to press the power button and set your thumb down. But watch how quick that is. Even if I just press and set it down, it goes instantly to my home screen. So it's up to you if you want to just be able to set it down to unlock it, or if you want to have to press the button to unlock it. Now, let's not forget, you can just use this like a normal phone, and make note that you can customize the lock screen depending on how you're using it. So you'll see that the lock screen didn't change on this one. I can go into my wallpapers and style and completely customize it. So there we go. Now the dynamic lock screen is going to be applied to both the exact same, but it can be separate if it wants to. And I can change the home screen wallpaper on the inside display. So you can have a more portrait one and a little bit more of a wider locks or wallpaper depending on how you want to use your phone. It's really great how they kind of customize and separate it. And yes, you can continue using applications. So the Chrome browser, you'll see this was the browser that I was on. I can open it on up and it loads it right away. And this is the same if you do have it and you close the phone, you can specify which apps you'd like to continue on that front display. So don't think it just closes them out. You can customize them. But going into our camera, just snapping a couple quick pictures, some nice vibration feedback. Seems to be very quick and snappy. 0.6, there is our ultra wide angle lens, snapping a couple pictures there. And then 3x, so again, nice to have a 3x optical zoom lens, not digital zoom, but you can zoom all the way up to 30x using their space zoom. Now you do have a front facing camera here and on the inside, but you can use that rear camera to take a selfie. So press this button and flip it on over and it activates our triple camera system on the back. So if I wanted to use, I'm gonna look at the lens, I wanted to use that actual, there we go. So now I'm using the highest powered cameras on the phone to take a selfie as opposed to that front facing camera on the inside or on the front display. Opening the camera on the inside, you do get a completely full screen. Really cool. These shortcuts are still down there. So even though you're pretty much in full screen taking pictures, those shortcuts are still down towards the bottom. Now, pressing this button, the cover screen preview button, will allow for this front screen to turn on so whoever you're taking a picture with can see what the lens is seeing. Another very nice use of both displays at the same time. There's so many features to this phone, tough to cover them all, but flex mode is something I also wanted to touch on, where in different apps you can sort of angle the phone and use it in different ways. So on the left side here is a preview of the shots, a live preview. So as you take them, they pop up. You can even zoom in, pinch to zoom in to take a closer look, go back and take another one. And then popping it back out brings you to the full screen. So again, really cool features that Samsung has really thought through between two displays and having cameras. Another use of flex mode, let's flip it and you'll notice a little icon pop up right there. There we go, flex mode panel, where you can truly customize various shortcuts, different apps that you want. So Chrome, Contacts, Drive. Now let's go back into that Chrome browser, do it again. And here we go, control your display, tap to control your view. A slew of different options there. Whoops, I didn't actually mean to back out of that. Let's go back into flex mode, control your display, tap to control your view. There we go. Brightness, volume, all can be controlled, just various controls. You can use a trackpad. Check this out. So it's like you have a little pointer now. So if I wanted to click on that, you just use it like a normal trackpad like would be. You can even have gestures. Look at that. 2 fingers on it is now scrolling. Going into this icon brings down our notifications and taking a quick screenshot of what's up there. On top of all of that, let's dive into settings, and there's a few options I want to check out. First of all, in display, you do have motion smoothness. It's on adaptive, so it has that higher refresh rate. You can bump that down to save battery life at 60 Hertz if you so choose. Going into advanced features is where you can find all kinds. Link to Windows, Samsung DeX, connecting to a larger display. Motion and gestures, side key, that's where you also get those flex mode options. Side key, press and hold or double press, and then motion and gestures like lift to wake, palm touch screen, and a lot more. And finger sensor gestures, there's another one I wanted to point out. You can actually swipe down twice or swipe back up with the notification panel. So just more use out of that fingerprint scanner. All right, so that's everything I want to talk about for now. A lot more content coming soon. One more final thing. You can press and hold on an app and drag it side by side, up and above. You can even go ahead and open 3 apps at once, 2 at the bottom, 1 at the top. Just really cool and useful with a larger display. So a lot of features. There's a lot more I wanted to cover. We'll get into that in another video. Be sure to click that subscribe button. I hope you enjoyed this video. Wanted to cover as much as I could about these exciting folding devices, and more videos coming soon on the Z Flip 4. So drop a comment, let me know what you think about these devices. If you're going to pick one up, I will link to everything down in the description of the video below. As always, thanks for watching.